Welcome to our latest Wandering Walks of Wonder Adventure. Today we're headed on a tour of downtown Lafayette, Indiana. Join us as we take this leisurely stroll through the heart of this charming Hoosier city. Along the way, we'll discover historic landmarks, learn a little bit more about Lafayette, and see the downtown area. Our walk begins in front of the Big Four Railroad Depot building. This railroad depot building dates back to 1902, but used to stand about 2 blocks away before being moved to this location. It was built for the 2 New York Central rail lines that pass through Lafayette. The Big Four: Cleveland, Cincinnati, Chicago, and St. Louis, and the Lake Erie and Western Railroads. The building was given to the city of Lafayette in 1983 and moved here from about 2 blocks away as part of a railroad relocation project. The area that is now Lafayette was originally inhabited by the Bayama Native Americans. In 1717, the French government established a fort across the Wabash River and about 3 miles south here of present-day Lafayette. The fort became the center of trade for fur trappers, merchants, and Indians. The town of Lafayette was platted in May of 1825 by William Digby, a trader. It was designated as the county seat of the newly formed Tippecanoe County the following year. The town was named for the French general Marquis de Lafayette, a Revolutionary War hero who was then making his last visit to the United States. In its early years, Lafayette quickly became an important shipping center on the Wabash River. The first steamboats arrived in 1826, and the Wabash and Erie Canal reached Lafayette in 1843. The canal further contributed to the economy's growth as a river port. In the early 1850s, Lafayette emerged as the principal river town on the Upper Wabash, located at the head of navigation on the river and, for all practical purposes, the terminus of shipping on the Wabash and Erie Canal. During the early and late 19th century, Lafayette became a major manufacturing center. The city's factories produced a variety of goods, including locomotives, wagons, plows, and furniture. In 1869, Purdue University was founded in Lafayette. The university quickly became one of the leading engineering and agriculture schools in the entire country. Purdue's presence has had a significant impact on the development of Lafayette and the surrounding region. As we go along the tour today, I'll point out some of the more historic buildings in the downtown area of Lafayette, including this building, which is called the John Purdue Block. This building originally was constructed in 1845 and consisted of about 12 units, but unfortunately only a small portion remained. Locals at the time are said to have bragged that it was the largest commercial trade center of its time west of New York City and the largest brick masonry commercial building west of the Alleghenies. One of the larger commercial buildings here in the downtown area is the Earl and Hatcher block. It was constructed in 1865 and originally housed Earl and Hatcher's wholesale grocery business. Over the years, this building's been occupied by many different stores, including furniture stores, a Sears store, office spaces, and many more. The Coleman Bank Building was constructed in 1872. It was originally named the Farmers Bank Building. This is also a great example of what's called a first floor walk-up, which allows the basement to be used as commercial space. One of the most beautiful buildings, as well as one of the most striking examples of a courthouse in the United States, is the Tippecanoe County Courthouse. This building was constructed and completed from 1881 to 1884. It's actually the third courthouse that occupied the public square. This particular courthouse was designed by architect James Alexander. There are 100 columns, 9 statues, and a bell on top that can be heard for miles. The courthouse is constructed of Indiana limestone, and it's built in the shape of a 150-foot Greek cross, and is 226 feet tall from the top of the statue to the base of the courthouse. This makes it the tallest building here in Lafayette. As we walk by, take a look at the oak doors, or walnut doors. Each of those doors weigh over 500 pounds each. Work was completed in 1885 at a final cost of $500,000, more than twice the original contracted amount, although most people thought that the money was well spent. Surrounding the courthouse square are many historic buildings, including Loeb's department store that we see here. Many of these buildings that we see were constructed in the mid to late 1800s and early 1900s. One of the newer buildings here is the Fowler National Bank, or Lafayette National Bank building. It was constructed in 1926. It's a 2-story masonry and steel building with a front facade that looks like Greek or Roman style of architecture. Another example of a beautiful building restored here in the downtown area is the Schultz building. It was built in 1912. It's a 4-story steel frame constructed building that originally housed Schultz's department store. The taller Lafayette Loan and Trust building was constructed in 1914, and it's the first modern office and bank building that was erected in downtown Lafayette. It's an 8-story steel constructed building, but has been much modified during the years. On this site where we see the Lahr House or Hotel Lahr buildings has been a lodging site since 1831. In 1848, the hotel was purchased by John Lahr, who called it the Galt House. By 1850, the building was generally known as Lahr's House or Lahr's Hotel. He sold the hotel in 1863, but the name has always remained. The building was added to and expanded upon over the years, with its current configuration dating from about the mid-1880s. In 1885, Mark Twain stayed here. Also in 1871, a banquet was given by Congressman Thomas Underwood, which included guests like Ulysses S. Grant and Vice President Schuyler Colfax. John Purdue was a longtime resident. The location was used for many years to establish Purdue University as a land-grant college. One of the few examples of the Art Deco style of architecture in Lafayette is the Lafayette Theater here, which was constructed in 1838. It opened as a movie house in 1939, showing a movie called Four is a Crowd. St. John's Episcopal Church was constructed in 1858. This church was designed by William Tinsley, who's best known for designing religious and academic buildings throughout the Midwest, especially in Cincinnati and Indianapolis. Constructed in 1922, the Painters and Decorators Building, which was originally the building used by the Journal and Courier newspapers that started in this city in 1920. Another historic theater here in the downtown area is the Mars Theater, which is now called the Long Center for the Performing Arts. This building opened in 1921 as a vaudeville movie house. The design is patterned after Broadway or larger theaters found in much larger cities. Inside is a historic Grand Theater organ. The building was donated to the city of Lafayette in 1978, and the Long Center is named after Dennis Long, president of the Luna Amusement Company. It's now home to the Lafayette Symphony Orchestra, Long Theater Organ Society, and many more organizations, as well as plays and musicals that are performed here in the theater. We're now walking down 5th Street in what is called the Lafayette's Historic Farmers Market. On April 24th, 1846, the town board decided to purchase 30 feet of land on the west side here of 5th Street for an open-air market. The market has operated continuously May through October since 1846. On our right is the old Fowler Hotel, now called the Fowler Apartments. This building was constructed in 1915, and it's a classic downtown hotel, now apartment complex. Here on our left is the post office, which is also called the Charles A. Halleck Federal Building. This building was constructed in 1931, and it was occupied by the U.S. Post Office branch, federal offices, as well as federal courts. The McDonald Underwood building here across from the post office was constructed in 1884, and it was originally built as a grain milling company. The Lafayette Life building was constructed in 1918. This is a great traditional example of an early skyscraper here in the Midwest, as well as in downtown Lafayette. The building was originally constructed for the Lafayette Life Insurance Company. I hope you've enjoyed this Wandering Walks of Wonder tour here in downtown Lafayette. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see you on our next Wandering Walks of Wonder adventure. Take care now. Bye-bye.